What's going on, you guys? So Errol Spence earlier today on social media revealed that he was going to be returning in April after previously letting people know that he won't be making an announcement to probably May or June. Now he's coming back in April. Hit that like button for your boy. We on Bushido Boxing TV. This is where we're going to be. Errol the Truth Big Fish Spence Jr. said he had options. He didn't necessarily tell us who these options were, but fans could assume who these options could be. But at this point, we know who it's not going to be. It's not going to be Virgil Ortiz or Elemonte Stanionis. Why? Because they're going to be fighting each other for the WBA mandatory spot. It's not going to be John Boots Ennis because he's fighting this upcoming Tank Davis card with Hector Luis Garcia, which is still on, by the way. It's not going to be Yordenis Ugas because, well, Spence beat Yordenis Ugas last April. Can't be anybody like Speedy Rashidi. Why? Because Speedy Rashidi is on this card as well, coming up with John Boots Ennis, Demetrius Andre, and Andrade Tank Davis. Who could it possibly be, this option? Is it Terrence Bud Crawford, who we are waiting for Spence to spin the block? I mean, it's looking like it should be open smoke. Terrence Crawford didn't get a scratch on him from the Aborigine fight. He's ready to go. But guess what? They didn't like how he did business, so they may not be spinning the block anytime soon. And now it's because, well, I don't like how he did business. So instead of facing Terrence Crawford once and for all in April, we know that's not going to be the case. Because yesterday's price ain't today's price. So that leaves us with Keith One-Time Thurman. A guy that Errol Spence said that he wasn't going to fight no matter what. But the WBC has stepped in and made Keith Thurman the mandatory for Errol Spence WBC title. And if you notice a pattern, a lot of these guys I named was mandatory type guys. High risk, low reward, John Boots Ennis. Right? Guys like him. But Keith One-Time Thurman's been in shape and he's been training for quite a while now. It looked like he got keeping the weight off. It looked like he's ready for a fight. That option likely will be Keith One-Time Thurman, despite Errol Spence Jr. telling us before that he wasn't going to fight this dude no matter what. It's a good fight. But I see it's being as if it's open smoke for Terrence Crawford. Why not make that one? Why not make that fight and close this chapter once and for all? Go collect that last belt and then close this chapter once and for all. Because let's be honest, Keith Thurman's been in the gym. And Keith Thurman, stylistically, Errol Spence hasn't quite been in there with a guy like Keith Thurman. He hasn't been in there with a guy like Keith Thurman who's crafty like Keith Thurman. He hasn't been in there with a guy that's crafty like Crawford. It's going to be interesting to see who Errol Spence decides to fight in April. I'm leaning more towards Keith Thurman at this point. The Terrence Crawford fight, I don't think it's going to happen. There's too many excuses that's being brought up right now for me to believe that we're going to see that fight in 2023. I just don't think it's going to happen. Too many excuses. It's open smoke right now. $10 million guarantee up front. They're not going to be able to really compete with that. Now, Terrence Crawford probably knows that going over there, that they're not going to be able to give him probably what BLK Prime gave him. But if the opportunity with Errol Spence seems a lot bigger right now. And if he agreed to everything before, I don't see why he wouldn't again. But looking at it from Crawford's perspective, yesterday's price ain't going to be today's price. Now, Derek James may come out and say one thing about the pay-per-view numbers, but Derek James, he should just stick to holding the pads and guiding fighters. Because he only puts on his business suit when it comes to Terrence Crawford. He doesn't say that about anybody else. So it leads a lot of people to believe that they don't want to smoke with Terrence Bud Crawford. So now we're going to have to look at Keith Thurman for Spence in April. That's the fight that's likely to happen in April. Keith Thurman could play spoiler in April if that fight was to happen in April. We're going to see what happens. Errol Spence Jr. revealed that he will be returning in April. But against who? Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.